Have you ever heard about the term called Yara? Well, if not, today we are going to discuss about that. So if you want to become a malware researcher, it is one most important tool that you need to learn right now. Today we are going to discuss what are the things and prerequisite for you to write your own Yara rule, and I'll say that stick around till the end because we have some freebies for you where we will actually explore a tool called YarGen, which is developed by Florian Ruth. So we are going to see that. So let's begin and let's start our own Yara rule. So this page is the official Yara actual documentation, and it is developed by VirusTotal. So that's where I guess you can see all the magic here, and it is renamed by VirusTotal. So this is actually the Pandora's box from where actually you can learn and you can start your first Yara rule. Okay. So you can come here and you can see like who are the industry that is currently using. So there are a lot of industries that is currently using, and if you are not familiar with like writing your own Yara rule, so obviously you are backfooted, right? So and this is the tool that we are going to talk about in the latter part of the section. It's called YarGen, and this tool has been created to like write your Yara rule automatically. Okay, so you select, you run the commands, you install this tool, and done. So this tool will take care of the headache for you. But before even try this tool, actually you need to learn, right? So what are the things, what are the parameters for Yara, and how you can actually build up your own Yara rule. Otherwise you won't even understand that what the hell this tool is actually doing. Okay, so first thing what we will do, as a sample I have taken two of my files. So you can see in my screen what is PDF, doc, VBA, iCard dropper, and one is simple software like application file. You can see .exe. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to create some Yara files, Yara code actually, to trigger this PDF, like to trigger this for PDF. Okay, so for doing that, what we are actually do, let me open up my terminal. So that is the first step anyway for doing any of the uh, coding practice or any of the thing. I guess it is visible. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, now let me check what I am inside the sample, and ls minus l I am using these two sample. Okay, so first thing what actually is required, that you need to identify some of your like identification mark, what on top of which you are actually building your Yara rule. Okay, so for doing that we need to identify some pattern, some strings, maybe some fields which is actually common attributes for that file. Okay, so for doing that, let me run my string command. Okay, strings on PDF and slash more. So what actually I am trying to do, I am just trying to identify some of my like files which I can use to scan this file or to search this file actually. Okay, so this is something looks interesting that I can keep because this looks like a unique file and unique feature to this particular file. Okay, so let me go more, and if I just keep going, so it says that PDF file containing doc file with VBA iCard dropper. Okay, and created by Didier Steven. So kudos to him for creating this file. So I guess I have got some of my attributes like CNAME. I can use these as well. Okay, so let's choose this one. Okay, and let's choose this one also because it looks like pretty unique. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up and fire up a new terminal. Okay, and I will create a file name like first, or I can say that manual code.er. Okay, So remember that you can create your Yara rule using like .yar extension or .yara extension, doesn't really matter, but it has to end with either .yar or .yara. Okay, so the first thing that is very important, that how actually we create the rule. Okay, so we select, let's say we give the rule name as like manual underscore code. Okay, and we keep everything under this curly parenthesis. Okay, now there is a section called meta. Okay, so meta is a section where you actually tell someone that what is this rule all about, what you are trying to achieve through this rule. This meta section actually doesn't do anything but to initialize the code. Okay, so what I can write here, I can write my author name. Okay, I can write that maybe BlackPerl. Okay, because we are creating under that name. Then we can create something like description. Okay, so bear with me for the syntax error because I keep on typing gibberish at time. So I'll say that first Yara rule for PDF malware. Okay, sounds good. Next I can write something, I can include some like hash file. Okay, that is not mandatory. You can write your date, you can write anything, whatever you want to create, like for the initialization purpose. Okay, next thing is comes like what are the attributes that you want to fetch from. Okay, so if I go back to my terminal where I have identified this something like this is a string value, this is another string value. So let me put these two string values in my rule in the way that whenever my rule searches this string value and it matches, it will trigger an hit. Okay, for that reason what I will write, I'll write strings. Okay, because it's a string, so you can write anything like if there is any hash match, if there is anything like integer match, you can write that as well. We'll see that when we will run the YarGen, what are the different things it can create you and can give you. Okay, pretty interesting stuff is going on. So let's see what I am doing now. $a, that is I am initializing a value and I am telling that okay, I need to see, let me copy it. Okay, maybe this dot export dot object, it looks to me like something unique for this file. Okay, so I'll paste it here. That means I have initialized $a within this value. It's simple, like simple code, or I'll keep it simple for first go. Okay, and now comes the condition part. Okay, okay, so condition means sorry for my spelling. Okay, so condition means like on when actually this rule will trigger. So I'll say that $a, because I want to fire this rule when $a matches, as simple as that. Okay, so I'll save that. It is saved and I am done. Okay, my rule has been created. Okay, so you can see here manual code dot yar. Okay, so what I can do, let me create another folder here for like files, because I want to run this code on like this file on this folder actually basically. Okay, now let me come here. Okay, let me close this window because I don't need this one. I'll be here only pwd within desktop sample, and we are going inside files. Okay, because that's the place where we have placed all of our files, sample files. Okay, two sample files we have, and we have placed them over here. Now remember, so what are the command that you need to run for triggering your Yara? It's as simple as that. You just need to run Yara, that's all. You can write -h to call the help, and at some point of time, I guess, like if your system Yara is not present, you can simply get like get installed. So in your system that will be installed. Okay. Okay, so we are inside the folder where we have actually stored the files, and we are ready to run our Yara script. So let's see. Okay, so I'll do a ls minus l. So this is our file. So these are our files, and for running our first Yara rule, we just need to mention Yara. Okay, minus r, that is for like searching the file, and we know that our file resides in manual code.yar. So that is the script that we have just written. Okay, and we are running this scan through the current directory because we are in files directory, and here we have stored these two files. Now what is the expectation here? If the rule matches properly, we should get hit as this file name as a return value. Okay, so let's see. Let's cross our finger. As you see, so this is returning our current file information. Okay, so that means our rule is working perfectly. So we have another file, but that is not giving a hit because that is not matching with the Yara criteria. So you can write the same rule using some other abbreviation. Okay, so let's go back to our file and let's see what else we can also extract. Okay, if you remember, we have another string what is called like icar dropper dot dot. Okay, so we will just try to include that as well, and we just I am just giving you the example that what are the simple step that you can write condition as a phase like you can give. Okay, so I'll say that, so this is two of my attributes that I have extracted from the same file when I was running the string command, and I will run a or b, right? So I am just telling my interpreter that give me the hit whenever A matches or B matches. Okay, so that should give me the same result as well. So let's see. I am running the same command again. As you see, it gave me the same code again. Okay, so this is pretty much interesting, right? Now let's modify the rule to create something which can actually trigger this particular file. Okay, now let me open this file with string command. Okay, so as usual, because we are trying to identify something like with the string value, we can do something, some other portions as well in the latter part of section, but I want to show you that how you can create something your own Yara rule which actually triggers for the file which you need to target on. Okay, so file name minus more. Okay, so and believe me, this file could be a packed one, so it might have a several like this kind of gibberish information. So these are not useful for us. We are finding actually something like stubs where which actually is meaningful for us, which we can use as a Yara string match. Okay, so still no hit, still no hit. I'm assuming that we will find something very quickly. Okay, so stay with me. It takes a time, right? So writing your own Yara rule like that way. Okay. So as you can see, finally, I have identified some meaningful string information. So here you can see here. So let's take as example like this one. Okay, run is MSI major upgrade removal. Okay, I'll copy this one and I will include this as a string value. Okay, like the same what actually we wanted to do here. Okay, as double quote and this one. Okay, and in condition we can mention or $C. So that means if any of the hit matches, that should give us a trigger. Okay, so we are expecting to get the return value for both of these cases. Okay, so I'll place a control Z. Let me clear my screen up, and I'll run the same command, okay, on the same files. Now you see I am getting actually the two of the file names as a return value. So that means my Yara rule is working. Now if I want to change the configuration, that I don't want these two files and I want only this one, okay, so we just need to tweak the condition a little bit. Let's say if we see A or B and C, okay, so A or B, anything can matches, and C, so if C is matching and any of it matching, so that should give us a hit, okay. Let's see. So you see nothing is coming, because you know what is the trick here, because it's an AND function, right? So if nothing is like returning, so that means we are getting a 0 as a hit, okay. So you can simply get this one as well. So if I want to just if I need the $C, let's see now, if I should get the second file as a return value. Okay, undefined, maybe I have given some error. Let me remove these two things actually. That should work. Yeah, you see it working now. So I have removed the undefined condition. So that is one takeaway, that whether you are defining some values, actually it should be there in the condition. Okay, so that is one troubleshooting part also I have learned now. Okay, so now let me go back to my initial values. Now let me do something. So now let's see that you want to identify, you want to write some Yara code which will actually trigger for a executable value. Okay, so run this command might be present on some I can say like any text value or a PDF value as well, but you want only to those values as a come up as a solution or a trigger where the file is actually executable. So for that, how you can do that? Okay, so if you know that this is an exe value, and if you open this exe file is an hex editor, there is a particular pattern in the header field that we can find. Okay, so let me fire up a hex editor here, and we have a beautiful hex editor in script workstation, that is we called as a bless. Okay, so I will open that up. Okay, open, and I will take this as an example. Okay, okay, so you see that in the first, that is a mz header. Okay, so mz is a thing that wherever there is an executable value, that should give me a return. Okay, so you can mention that as a string as well. So let us try that first, if that is giving us a hit. Okay, so without doing this, we should write mz. Okay, so I'm assuming this should actually work. Okay, so condition I want maybe $A or $B or $C. Okay, so I'm expecting to get the output for both of the files. Let's see. Okay, you see both of the file is coming, so that means our string match for a executable file is running now. So there is another way of doing that, you know. So this mj value will be always present in the 0 section or the starting of a header position. So we can take up these two values as a memory address space, and we can write that. Now let's see how we can write that. So in space we can write, or we don't want this one, so let me remove that. And there is a field called like, sorry, it's not unit, it's called uint. Okay, uint 16, and in 0 position I need, okay, don't need this one, I need 0 cross 4D 5A. You are getting my point, right? So this is 4D 5A, and what we are trying to do here, we are mentioning that you int position, that is our integer position, and it's a 16 by parameter, and 0 header value, we want to get 4D 5A. Okay, so if that matches or any of this matches, it should give us a hit. So I will run the command now, and I am expecting it should give me the same result. Okay, okay, you see the PDF value that is actually coming in my as a output. Okay, so I am successful in while creating or executing my Yara rule as a integer value, where actually I want to search for an integer value. Okay, now, it's time to see actually how YarGen file actually runs. Okay, so let me pull that up. Let me pull up my uh, GitHub page also. So I have already extracted the file and I have installed that file in my machine. But just remember that if you are downloading this current YarGen 0.23.4 version, you have to have Python 3 installed on your machine. If you are not having Python 3 installed, so you might get several errors, and the dependencies will not show you anything, but you need to run that command. Okay, okay, so once that is installed, it is pretty much simple. You just call the function and you are done with it. Okay, so the same thing I'll try to do now. Okay, so let's go back to my YarGen file. Okay, so this is my YarGen file and I have extracted from GitHub page. Okay, I will open up my terminal. Okay, let's see. So I have my YarGen file over here, and what we are trying to see, we have created some of our own Yara file for this version. Okay, so this PDF icon dropper. Now we will try to create automated Yara using YarGen file. Okay. Okay, so for running YarGen, it's pretty simple command. I just need to call Python 3 as per the dependency as I mentioned. Then yargen.python, because that's the code actually on which it is sitting, everything is sitting and bundled up. I need to mention -m, that is the abbreviation for mentioning the path on which actually you need to run your Yara code, okay, YarGen file. Now I need to see which folder is I am in. So I am inside this location. So I'll simply copy it from here and I will paste it over here. Okay, so that's boom, you can see that my YarGen is already running. So it will depending on the length of your files and the other stuffs, it will take some time to run on your background. Okay, so I'll minimize that and I have already done that process for you to save the time interval, and let me show where actually this file, how actually this file looks like. Okay, so I will go inside my YarGen. Okay, so this manual code.yara is actually we have built, and YarGen file, we need to go inside YarGen and this is the rule. Okay, it's actually killing up my RAM, so that's the reason it's pretty bit much slow. Please stay with me. So this is the file. You will see the same file after the YarGen gets completed and it's get finalized about its whole process. Okay, so you can see here, as we mentioned here, meta tag is mentioned and it is the same value which is actually has been taken. So this hash value has been taken for the iCar dropper file. Okay, and you see, so there are a lot of string information has been taken out from that file, actually the string matching file what we were actually doing for that Yara. Okay, now there are all the things that has been taken as a string value. So let me tell you one thing, where we have seen that if the $x values is mentioned, so $x means the high priority. Okay, so and A to Z, the priority actually get increased. Okay, so you have seen it's S, so that means it's a medium priority kind of thing. And they have given, we can see only one inclusion, which is called full word ASCII. Okay, so that means full word means, so it is mentioned that subtype space, then it is backslash type 1. So that means if there is any field, like I can say that let's say sub type domain. Okay, so it won't give me a match. It has to be subtype only, or it can be like this one also, because sorry, not this one, subtype. Okay, so what is actually its meaning? Full word means the word has to be ended or started with a non numeric character, non alphanumeric character. Only that time it will give you a match. Okay, and ASCII, you know already what is the ASCII meaning. And you see the condition, it's like the same kind of condition it is given. So you int 16 0, and you can see here 0x5025, it's giving the same kind of thing what we have actually shown you while we are doing the extraction for the binary file. Okay, the executable file. But since this is a PDF file, so obviously that has a match in starting header file. Okay, and it is mentioned that file size is less than 30 KB. So that means, let me check my file how it's actually looking, so we can validate that as well. Okay, so we will go to sample, we will go to file, and if we just see, so you see it's a 10 KB file, so obviously it's less than 30 KB. So that is the reason it is giving me that condition. Okay, and it is giving and 8 of them, so that means it's a explicit condition that all this information has to be matched. Okay, so we can see here actually 1 to 20. So there are like 20 variables has been defined. And in the condition, we are seeing that 8 of them has to match. Okay, so either the header value should match, and the file size has to be less than 30 KB, and 8 of these strings value has to match. Okay, so this is the overall Yara rule that is like you can build. And remember that you can build also on top of this. Okay, so if you want to do some abbreviation of your own, feel free to do that, and no one is stopping you for doing that. Okay, so this is pretty much interesting how you can use this particular tool. And let us check now in the finally whether this header value is matching or not. Okay, so how we can do that? We will again open up our Bless Hex editor, and this time we will simply open up this file. Okay, file, open, and we need to open this one. Okay, so you see the header information is matching, like it's a PDF file, right? So you can include that information also in the string match. So 25 cross 50 has to be there. Let us verify that. You see 50 cross 25. So you remember, always you have to remember that this condition matches from this side to this side. You see it is matching over here. Okay, so 50 cross 25 has to match, and it has to match in the initial phase. Okay, so please be very careful while you install this particular application. As you see, I have opened up some of my taken snapshot what the issues I was facing. So you see, if you are running with Python 2.7, it will give you this URL LLIB request error. And if you are running with Python 3 also, it will give you that module not found or module found error, no module name scan dir. Okay, so you have to stick with your Python 3 project. It is very much important, and you can resolve this particular issue if you just run this particular command. So let me open that up as well. Here you see, here you need to mention python 3 minus m pip install scandir uh, lxml and this p file. Okay, so I will post this particular command in the description box as well, so feel free to use that. And once you have installed that particular this particular dependencies, you are very much good with it and you don't need to file anything else. After that, you run python 3 yargen.py minus minus update. It will create your all of the database file and it remains the same whatever has been told in the github repository. Okay, so 3 steps mentioned. First, you need to have python 3 installed on your machine on which you are trying to install YarGen. Then resolve the dependencies, okay, because requirement.txt might not resolve all of your dependencies. So make sure you install this particular dependency, and after that you use python 3, because python 3 will be called python 3. Actually, if you mention in the command, then only python 3 will be called, otherwise the default python version will be called. And after that you are free to use this minus minus update to install your YarGen. Okay, well, so that's about it, guys. So I hope now you understand how you can write your own Yara rule. What are the things that you need to create or you need to build of your own to create your first rule actually. Okay, and isn't it very much interesting that YarGen can take all of your headache and build the actual code on which you will be running the rule from scratch. Okay, you just need to do a click, you need to run the commands and the tool will do all the job for you. Okay, so don't wait too much and create your hand dirty and do the deep dive of your own Yara rule. So believe me guys, there are a lot of industries right now who is actually using it, and for malware analyst, or even you, if you want to run something, if you want to search something on your disk, on your hard drive for forensic investigation, so Yara is your best friend. Okay, so don't delay, don't wait for anything else. Check out my links for your own tooling and what are the things that you need to grab, and the prerequisite of the tools. You will get everything from the link below. So start your own Yara rule. I'll see you next time.